Hello, welcome to my new video. Something a bit different today. This is I'm not in my car for a change, and this is a review stroke preview of last week and the week ahead. So just going to talk about the end of the pre-season, the senior games, the under-23 games, under-21 games. It's been exciting, it really has. It's the 19th of August, so I'm just going to get ready to watch Man United versus Wolves. Unfortunately, I'm not going to this match, but I will be watching it on TV. And I think it's been exciting. I really do think it's been an exciting couple of weeks for Man United. Not just the senior team, but the youth academy as well. I have been to a couple of matches. I've watched one of the games on UTD. Unfortunately, I missed the Chelsea match, but I watched the highlights afterwards. I think it's exciting. I think it's exciting because we've followed on from pre-season, and not just regarding the results, but in the way that we're playing, in the personnel that we're playing, and I'll break it down into my thoughts in a bit more detail throughout the 10-15 minute video. But I think it's exciting because even though we haven't brought in the quantity of players that we've brought in, that we wanted, the quality is there, and the people that we have brought in are all the same kind of mould. So they are fast, they are young, they are upbeat, they do care about the club. So if you mix that with the youngsters that are coming through as well, I think it has been exciting. And the people who were maybe on a bit of a negative last season, i.e. your Martials and Pogbas, they seem to be happy at the club as well. And I think that's reflected on the pitch and in the press conferences, on the training ground. Everything that you're seeing to do with Manchester United at the moment seems to be happiness. Even the fact that Pogba said he wanted to leave a couple of months ago, I don't think he's showing that in any shape or form when talking to the fans or being around the club. So regarding the first team, so obviously we won 4-0. I think nobody expected us to win 4-0, and yesterday the result did flatter us in the sense that we could have conceded goals and we didn't really have much possession compared to what Chelsea did in some areas of the game. But 4-0 just shows that we're clinical. And before going into the season, everyone was saying, all Man United fans were saying, well, we've got a great defence, but can we create and can we score? And we can only judge us on the one game because that's all we've seen so far. And if you're judging us on that one game, we had both, didn't we? We kept a clean sheet and we scored goals. We created and scored goals. 5 shots on target, I believe, and scored 4. You know, last season it was very difficult to get shots on target, and we just wasn't scoring towards the end of last season. So to do both, keep a clean sheet and to score, absolutely brilliant. And yes, okay, Chelsea did have a couple of shots and could have scored, but you know, you could always say what could have happened or what should have happened. The fact is, we won 4-0, and we're just keeping that momentum going now, going into Wolves, which is exactly what we need. So just touching on that game a little bit. So the likes of Dan James, Wan-bissaka and Maguire was, I thought, it's a breath of fresh air, it really was. And not only did they play, obviously they kept the Deadwood out of the team and out of the actual match day squad as well, which is credit to Solskjaer. You know, everyone's saying it. Everyone was questioning, will he carry on with the youth? And the fact that he's put Wan-bissaka on the bench instead of Jones and Smalling is a statement. And I would love to see Wan-bissaka start in the Carabao Cups and in the Europa. And I'll talk a bit more about that when we talk about the under-23s later. But yeah, 4-0. We've got a chance to go top of the league if we win Wolves, which won't be easy. I actually think that will be harder than the Chelsea game. Questions about the formation. We've been playing 4-2-3-1 pretty much the whole of the pre-season and against Chelsea. Will it be 3-5-2 against Wolves because of the midfield battle? It could be. And then maybe Wan-bissaka will play alongside Maguire and Lindelof. I don't think at this point, I think there's arguments for both, isn't there? So, you know, you can carry on and keep the same team and hope that we just be Man United and just play at our best and just outperform them. However, Wolves last season did really well against the big boys, didn't they? So I can't see too much change in their end. It's just whether or not us and the other top teams have learned from our mistakes against Wolves. One thing for certain, we're going to be a lot stronger on the counter-attacks this season. We have got more pace, and there's so much enthusiasm about the guys, and to see that James celebration as well. Not only did he celebrate, all the guys ran over to him and genuinely celebrated, and that was a fourth goal. They weren't celebrating because they scored. They weren't celebrating because they won the match. That was all gone. It was the fact that James scored, and it meant so much to him, and it shows how close that the players are to him because they all genuinely celebrated with him. And I just thought that was something that we haven't seen at Man United, I don't think, for quite a while. So yeah, following on from that, I watched 2 under-23 games live this week over the last 10 days. So I went to Kidminster to watch Man United under-23s away to West Bromwich Albion. Going into that match, I thought it was going to be a lot tighter than it actually was. I was checking the odds before we went into the match, and the odds don't mean too much, I appreciate that, but they did have us as very, very slight favourites. So to win 5-0 was surprising, but it was enjoyable because we went 1-0 up quite quickly, 2-0 up quite quickly in my opinion, so I could relax and enjoy the rest of the game. And all I kept on saying on Twitter and to my mates who I watched it with was how good Garner was. And people have been talking about Garner for like 1 or 2 seasons now, but this is the first time that I've actually seen him live, and he just controlled the whole of that game. I could talk the whole video about how good he was, but he just dominated just absolutely everything. Everything just went through him, and he just controlled not only the opponents but his teammates as well. And he's not the captain, but he is definitely a leader. And obviously he scored as well, and he just looked so comfortable there. And I just hope that he does get his chance in the first team, because I think he's gone as far as he can possibly go now in the under 23s. He's scoring, he's getting forward, and he's also controlling it when they're passing out from the back as well. He wasn't the only one that played well in that game. Demani and Ramazani, in my opinion, was excited. I think that was more exciting than Garner. Obviously Garner's controlling it, but the way Ramazani's just hugging that touchline on that left-hand side, he's got so much space, and then when the ball comes to him, he's gone. And then obviously the captain's overlapping him on the wing as well, just like the old days with Giggs and Evra, or Beckham and Gary Neville. And it's just a breath of fresh air to watch that them playing the way that Man United should play. And touching on that a little bit more, the formation of the under-23s is a lot like the formation of the senior team now, with the 4-2-3-1. So it's nice to see that Solskjaer and Neil Woods and Nicky Butt, Quinton Fortune, all these are obviously talking to each other, and they are genuinely talking about progression. There must be, because there's no fluke. You don't pick that formation unless if you're looking at bringing people through from the under-23s to the senior team. So for example, if we needed a left wing option, you can always just put Ramazani in, or if ever you need someone in that double pivot, say for example if McTominay's injured or someone else is suspended or whatever, or you just need to rest a couple of players, you can quite easily put Garner in that double pivot role alongside say Paul Pogba, and he wouldn't be out of place because he knows his role in that team. And Solskjaer was even at some of these games as well. He wasn't at these 2 games just, but he's showing up to the academy games, he's showing up to the women's games, and it just looks, even though they're separate teams within Manchester United, it looks like, I can't comment on the women's game just yet because the season's not started, but it does look like a solidity there, because they're more obviously mates and close to each other. So I can kind of see why the Glazers or Woodward, whoever's in charge of appointing coaches and managing staff, I can see why that they are appointing people who knows the club, who's been at the club, because they are all working together. I don't know if I'm looking into it too deep, but in my opinion, when you start looking at building for the future, that's exactly what we are doing, because it starts at the top. The people above are obviously looking at relationships above the ground, the club, above the playing staff. That they're looking at coaching and they're looking at the managers, and I just think it's working really well. So I'm just going to go through a few results before I move on. So yeah, so obviously Man United under 23s, we won 5-0 against Albion, and then the Reading match I went to at Leeds Stadium, obviously a lot tougher. We won that one 2-0. Garner, in my opinion, was man of the match again. He scored and Mella scored, and that was going to be, it was always going to be tougher because Reading finished higher than us last season. They'd already won the first game 6-0 when we won 5-0. But to win that, I wouldn't say it was comfortable, but I never really felt in danger of us losing that match. Again, we got off to a good start, 1-0 up, and the second goal just kind of clinched it for us. 1,500 people turned out at Leeds Stadium, and it was a real good atmosphere. Even the Albion match away, where we won 5-0, there was more Man United supporters than there was Albion supporters. So the atmosphere in the ground was brilliant. Under 18s, won the first game and lost the second game a couple of days ago to Wolves. Funnily enough, we lost 2-0. I don't think that's any shame really, because Wolves' youth team are good, and under 23s got promoted last season. But we did win our first game 3-0 against Sunderland. So there's a lot of positives across the whole club at the moment. No women's team matches have played just yet, just the under 21s. I've got to be honest, I haven't followed the under 21s on the women's team just yet. I do know Solskjaer went to that game though, which was interesting. So yeah, a lot of positivity around the place. Going forward, what we've got to look out for. So Wolves tonight, Man United senior team. It's not too far from me. I would have tried. Well, I did try to get tickets, but it was sold out right away. So yeah, I'll be watching that on TV. But we can't lose again, surely. I'm really looking forward to that game. Under 23 is what we've got coming up. So I believe it's Newcastle first, which is away, and then a home game at Old Trafford, funnily enough, against West Ham. So if I can get tickets to that, I don't know if it's free or if you have to pay to get in because it's at Old Trafford and not Leeds Stadium. Either way, it's going to be worth the money, isn't it? I can genuinely see the under 23s getting 12 out of 12 points. I hope I'm not going to jinx it, touch wood. But I can genuinely see the under 23s getting 12 out of 12 points and really setting a benchmark down for the rest of the teams in that league this season. And the under 18s have got a 2-week gap now, I believe, and their next game is against Liverpool away, which will obviously be a tough game for them. And then the women start September the 7th at the Etihad. So a lot of games to look out for. I've put a list on my Twitter, if you want to follow me on Twitter, John Foster MUFC, JON Foster MUFC. I've put a list of games that I'm planning on going to, mainly under 23s, with a couple of women's games as well. I had no intention of going to as many under 23 games at the start of the season as I think I'm going to do, but going to these matches is just so exciting. The players coming through. There's so many players that I could talk about, but I want to keep this video to about 15 minutes, and I'm already 13 minutes in already. I felt like I haven't talked about anything yet. But all in all, it's great to see Man United playing the way that we should be playing, and it's great to see all the new starters, the new signings getting off to a good start, and it's great to see the under 23s doing as well as they have been doing. I'm going to have to leave the video there. John Foster MUFC on Twitter. Please follow me, and I'll see you soon.